I thought this was America. Huh? Isn't this America? I'm sorry. I thought this was America.
Hey, guys. Welcome to Friday night. I thought this was America. A lot of crazy stuff going on. Kind of a busy week. I'm going to give a lot of you guys a chance to come into the room because, again, it being on a Friday night, I know people are kind of rolling in. I did get notice out at the very last moment as far as getting everyone, notified. It's probably 15 minutes ago, so my apologies there. Quick shout out to Athos. He was the first one in the room. Bob Masavo, what's up, man? Deep South EDC, what up? Warhammer, hello. Admin, good morning, Louisiana. It's morning somewhere. That is true. Bob Masavo, just not in Louisiana. That is correct. Let's see. Orleans Parish. I didn't realize you were in Orleans Parish, Deep South EDC. Very nice to have another home person here. It's 5 o'clock in Louisiana all the time, but this is true. And that might depend on what part of the state you're in also. Dwayne Howell's in from DeRitter. A lot of people from Louisiana here. Evening from Karen Crow. Wow. What's up with all the Louisiana folks? Usually I don't get many Louisiana folks in the room. That's kind of unusual. I mean, a good 4 of you already, including 5, if you want to count me, in the room. So it's going to be a good, quick show. Hopefully I don't drag on and take up too much of you guys' time. I got a lot of work to do tonight, which is why I'm drinking one of the most watered down beers in the world, which is a Coors Light. I don't hate Coors Light. It's just that when I don't want to get a buzz very quick, I drink a Coors Light. This is my first beer. So I just been a crazy week. So I wanted to drink a beer, but I actually have a lot to work to do. So I don't want to drink my normal Shiner Bock because my normal Shiner Bock, I get into a few bottles of that and I just want to sit around and not do anything. So at least I can do that. If you got a cold beer, crack one open. If you like anything else, if you don't drink, fine. Just hang out with us here and partake in the conversation. We'll suggest also to light up the comment section if you guys want to. The chats are always really good in these live streams. In fact, I like to go back and rewatch the whole live stream, but reading the chats. If you go back and rewatch the video, there's a function you can choose on YouTube that says live chat, and it will actually display all of your comments in the order and when they came in during the live stream as you're rewatching it. So I get a lot out of that. I do that all the time. And because I enjoy the conversation. You guys have some really good conversations, and it's a lot of fun to me. So yeah, definitely light up the chat room because I do go back and read that. Just because I don't acknowledge it during a live stream does not mean that I'm not seeing it. I'm just not acknowledging it at that time. Part of that also, guys, is because I'm a one-man show over here. I'm blind as a bat. I can barely see me. And as you see, I usually have to do this when I want to talk to you guys and look at your comments, and that's because I'm trying to find which part of my trifocal glasses will actually focus in on those little bitty letters on my screen. So that's why. A lot of weird stuff this week, man. Let's see. I'm looking at my notes here. The brace amnesty, you guys probably saw the video that I put out on that, the stabilizing brace amnesty period. This was pretty sure it was an actual leak and not a purposeful leak. Typically when government has a leak, it is not it's not an accidental leak. It was done on purpose. Case in point, whenever the leak came out about the abortion issue via the Supreme Court, that wasn't a leak. In fact, the person who let that out has not even been found yet. Not that they're looking for them. That was let out on purpose. It was let out on purpose to kind of start to control a narrative in the media and within the general public. So typically whenever somebody says there's a leak, it's rarely an actual leak. I kind of do think this was a leak, though, with the amnesty thing, with the SB tactical, or excuse me, with the stabilizing brace, because they really had nothing to gain by doing this, by putting that out there early. In fact, I think it could potentially hurt them with midterms right around the corner. So I'm not so sure that was really a purposeful leak. If all of this stuff was going to happen in December, that's well after midterms anyway. So they have nothing to gain by letting this leak out. So I'm not going to go too much into that. I will just refer you back to my video on that. Kind of an interesting turn of events there. So if you have not seen my video on that, please go back and take a look. I will look real quick and see which one that actually is. If you don't mind, give me 1 second here to glance at my content on YouTube. In the meantime, I will tell you guys that if any of you are watching the HOAPD videos, the comedy videos that I have with a friend of mine, Kendall Pruitt. You guys are missing, if you're not, you're missing some good content, some funny content. And for some reason, probably because I'm consuming most of the data by streaming out, it's not allowing me to refresh that. There we go. Let's see. Where is that? Right for remedy? What ATF stabilizing brace amnesty? There we go. The title of it is What ATF Stabilizing Brace Amnesty Means for You. And it's got a thumbnail of a guy in a red t-shirt, and he says, "Thank you, ATF." What's weird is, in fact, I'm going to have to show this because I want you guys to see this. Those of you who weren't part of this, I want you to understand some of the ridiculous stuff that I actually have to contend with sometimes. It's pretty amazing, actually. Let's get over here, Chrome tab. I believe this is going to be the one. Yeah, this is it. Okay. I don't know if you guys can see that. That right there in the very center where it says what ATF stabilizing brace amnesty means for you. If you will notice, the thumbnail on there says, "Thank you, ATF." And then it's got a guy smiling, and that is a $200 tax stamp in his left hand. Guys, you'll notice under the word ATF, I actually have written the word sarcasm with a red arrow pointing up. I actually had to do that because people were looking at just the thumbnail that says, "Thank you, ATF." And they were going into the comment section all pissed off. "Man, I can't believe you're thanking the ATF for this. What good is that? What do you think you're getting out of that? You can't be that stupid and naive." Which told me, number one, they don't understand an absolute genius of sarcasm that I can deliver. I can promise you this. If there's anybody that can deliver some of the driest, most smart-ass sarcasm, I think it's me. I feel like I perfected that art over the years, and it's from dealing with idiots. So I put that out there as total sarcasm. In fact, I don't go into detail in the video thanking the ATF. I pretty much explain what the amnesty portion of it is and why it's a bad thing. I don't thank the ATF even in the video, which tells me not at one point did any of these people go actually watch the video. So what I had to do is go out and add the word sarcasm because I had just "Thank you, ATF" on the thumbnail, and people were losing their minds and setting their hair on fire. So I was like, you gotta be kidding me. So I had to go in there and actually add the word sarcasm to the thumbnail so that if people were just going to leave a comment based on just reading the thumbnail, they at least knew that there was sarcasm involved in that title of the thumbnail. Unbelievable. And yes, I have to put this up there. Munkamik says sarcasm is a lost art for many. Absolutely. And I think it's a horrible thing that it's a lost art because I think people who deal in sarcasm, it's a beautiful thing. And I have a lot of respect and admiration for people who are very fluent in sarcasm. So it's disappointing to me when people are not able to actually spit that out or digest it whenever I put it out there to actually understand it. So yeah, I was really disappointed in that. Hey, I was talking briefly about HOAPD. So since, let me see here, guys. Am I going to be able to find it on here? Let's see here. Since I was just talking about it, I want to see if I can pick that up. I have it on here and show you guys. This is a comedy project that I'm working on. I know I'm taking a real deep dive over here into something else. I'm gonna start that here in just a second. Okay, this is something that I'm working on with a friend of mine, and we just started doing this. I don't know, probably a month or so ago. I need to make sure that I've got audio on this. Mute screen audio, share screen audio. Pretty sure the screen audio is going to be on. Okay, what this essentially is, if you guys are not familiar with this, and if you would please go subscribe to HOAPD on YouTube. I will put the let's see, I'll put the link to HOAPD in the description below this video so you guys can go check it out and subscribe to it. But essentially, if any of you guys live in any kind of a neighborhood, mine is actually pretty tame over here. where I live, but HOA is a homeowners association. And there are in really nice neighborhoods, not mine, but in really nice neighborhoods, other neighborhoods, they're very militant with these stupid HOAs. Like they really try to control things, length of grass, what time you can put your garbage can out before garbage day, just a number of things, what color your house can be, what material your house materials can be on the outside. Just a number of stupid things. In my neighborhood, our HOA is actually 2 pages, front and back. And it's stuff like you can't park abandoned cars in your front yard. You can't pile up refrigerators, dishwashers, and other appliances in the front yard or the side yard. I mean, common sense stuff that you're wanting to be able to keep. I don't live in a huge neighborhood, but enough to where you still want to maintain the quality of it. So I don't feel like mine is intrusive, although nobody really cares. I mean, nobody really is that militant about following it. But nevertheless, we put together this HOAPD where we take it to the next step, kind of the next level, where we abuse the authority. And I liken it to the FBI, the ATF, and all governmental agencies, and how they abuse their perceived authority. And it's kind of funny because when the citizen themselves allow those people to have that authority that they think they have, then they abuse it even more because they realize deep down inside that they have no real authority. People can just say, no, screw you, and slam the door in their face. But whenever people comply and give in so easily, they like that, and they bully those particular people even more. And we've taken that to the next level in HOAPD. So I want to play that video for you guys real quick. Here we go.
Bro, that's my jam.
I couldn't fuck a fat girl with that shit.
You don't like anything I like.
This is a job, not a fraternity.
Jasper, you know I'm trying to mentally prepare for tomorrow, right? It's the big cock. You know, the Catalina Open Classic. Catalina 1. It's like the Daytona 500 for Frisbee golf.
I used to play with a Frisbee with my little sister. Sounds awesome. Really white. Y'all want?
We need to serve you with a little warning about putting your can out the night before garbage day.
Y'all some petty ass small cops. I don't put my trash can out until garbage day.
We have surveillance footage that says otherwise.
Good. Then come back when you got proof. We'll come back and beat that ass. All right. Tomorrow's trash day.
No can do. The big cock.
Shit. Forgot about your little tea party. Keep your radio handy. I got you now, motherfucker. That didn't make these things easier to get into. I'll put my trash out whenever I damn well want to.
Looks like somebody threw away a perfectly good white boy.
Damn, this thing's heavy. Must be all that cat shit.
Come on, dude. Come on.
GD Black Aces, man. GD. Another blow through. Hey, put that behind you, bud. Put it behind you. What the? Hey! Don't worry about that, Rodrigo. You're good, babe. What the? Come here, Percy. Stop this motherfucker. Where the where? I'm gonna kick somebody's ass.
I'm back.
Hey, I'm sorry. Got your favorite beer.
All right, guys. That's it. As you can see, we have a little bit of fun with that. Yes. What it it's right here. This will end in beers. That's exactly right. We have a lot of fun with that. And the cool thing about it is we poke fun at everybody. We were accused last week of poking fun of being racist. Look, we have poked fun at white people, black people, Mexican people. We'll be poking fun of people in not poking fun at people in wheelchairs, but a person with a wheelchair. There's going to be in one of our next upcoming episodes. We pick on fat people, skinny people, ugly people, pretty people. No one is off limits on this. And that's what's fun about it. Cool thing is nobody can tell us what to do. We're not breaking any rules on YouTube, so we can do whatever the hell we want. And that's what's fun about it. We can do whatever we want. And I've always had a really dark sense of humor where I enjoy stupid things and ignorant stuff. And I like old movies that have ignorant and stupid stuff in them. So we cut little pieces of movies, as you saw. That was the movie with Emilio Estevez and Charlie Sheen, Men at Work, where they were trash men. So that's where that clip came from, where they said he threw away a perfectly good white boy. That kind of stuff cracks me up, man. I mean, the people I run with, that's the kind of stuff that's funny. That's what we joke about when we sit around and drink a beer or something like that. So we're having a great time with this. It's a lot of fun, man. If you didn't see the one last week, again, somebody commented on it, said we were racist. I'm like, really, man? I mean, you can tell that we're playing and having fun. These guys that were actually in the video, in fact, I'm not even going to tell you about it. If you guys, do y'all want, look, tell me if y'all want to waste your time to watch one more. These things are only 2 minutes long. So if you got 2 minutes, we can watch one more of it. I want you to see the one where we're accused of being racist last week, if you guys got a second. I'm going to give you a second to comment in the comment section if you guys feel like that's something you want to watch, because I absolutely love that one. Let me kill that real quick. Yeah, this one is pretty good. So just a couple. Okay, we got a yes, thumbs up, one more. All right, let's do this one. This one's actually pretty. I think this one's funnier, to be honest with you. So let me cue it up real quick. Let's see, add to stream, and here we go. Enjoy this one, guys. This is actually one of my favorite ones.
I'm back.
What's your fascination with Bed Bath & Beyond?
You ever seen their bathrooms? Only women shop there. The bathrooms are immaculate.
Look at all that oxygen-producing foliage.
What the fuck is this rainforest looking shit?
Can you imagine all the subspecies of marsupials that can procreate in there?
I can imagine the fine this motherfucker's about to pay.
Or there's the lawn crew. You're 2 o'clock.
Hey, that's it. Hola, senor amigos.
Yard's looking nice.
You speak American?
See,
Y'all hiding some bodies or some dope up in that shit?
see,
Jasper, be nice, man. The guy's new.
see,
The whole nice neighbor deal, I mean, you can understand, right?
see.
Y'all need to take this shit down about 5 feet to become Dickwood compliant, boy.
All right.
You need to get with it, Speedy.
Right, the suck hole.
Puta loca.
The crown has no penis.
No hablo inglés.
All right, guys. That's that one. That one cracks me up, man. I don't know why it cracks me up so bad, but yeah, it does. That one does. It's pretty cool. So we have fun with it, as you can see, and there's really not much that is off limits with what we're going to do. And what's cool is nobody's paying for this, so no one can tell us what to do. What's crazy is, man, we had one where we did oh, you have to go back and look at it. I'm not going to play a third one here because I don't want to waste all your time on that. We got plenty of other stuff to talk about, but we did have one where the joke was that we had a white boy and his dad was black, and our two characters, being ignorant and stupid, didn't understand why this black man was walking down the driveway and saying that the white kid was his, because in our narrow minds, we were too stupid to realize that that happens. So we actually put that one out there, and oddly enough, the guy who played the part of the black father got pissed off. I don't know what it was. I don't know if his buddies got to him, or, if they, gave him a hard time or whatever, but we literally had to take that video down and get one of my, actually he's a cop in Houston, one of my black friends in Houston. He came over here and he refilmed that one little segment for us. So it was actually pretty cool, that he was able to do that. So it was neat. Look, okay, I'll do it. I'll do a couple of you have asked for it. We'll play one more and that's it. I'll do that because I don't want to try to bore you guys. I'm not trying to push you all on this stuff, but this will explain better of what happened. Let's see. Let me pull that back up, add the stream. All right, here you guys go. Last one.
Looks like I'm gonna have to let you go there. Can't crush skulls and dreams with you, buddy. Dragged a lot of strange with you.
I don't know. It's close, man.
Is it close or is it compliant?
I mean,
Dickwood Compliance Manual says the allowable neutral sector between landscape border and manscaped zoysia bedding is 1.73 inches.
Now you got a violation of Covenant 64L.
$50, motherfucker.
I think he's talking to you.
You talking to me?
What the f are you doing in my yard?
Taxing your Christmas present away from your daddy, bitch.
That's your butt buddy waiting for you to mount him?
Hey, you wish I was your butt buddy.
I'm gonna take my belt off and whoop that boy's ass.
What's going on?
Look at his yard guy.
Who the f are you?
Who's that?
Who's dad?
His dad.
Out of Pepe.
It's all good, dog.
What a play.
I thought so, motherfucker. I was about to roundhouse his ass.
Hey!
Back.
Hey, what a dick.
Pretty sure he's talking to you, though.
Yeah, I was about to kick his ass.
All right, guys, that's the last one. You got to admit, man, that's some funny stuff right there. I enjoy this because it's stupid humor. And I mean, that's my kind of humor, man. I mean, I'm not a sophisticated person and silly stuff cracks me up. So and what was offensive about that? That skit was more making fun of the two idiots who were obviously stereotyping, couldn't imagine that there was a white kid had a black dad living in a nice neighborhood. They automatically assumed it was his yard guy or whatever. Anyway, that's the kind of stuff right there that I enjoy. I get a lot of fun and enjoyment out of. It's just fun to me. So anyway, if you guys want to see more of that, we try to put out at least one video a week. There's been a couple of weeks we're able to put 2 out. As you can see, We try to keep them really short. They're 2 minutes, maybe 3 minutes tops. The one this past week was actually 4 minutes long. That's the longest one we've ever made. So usually it's in real quick bite-sized segments of two minutes. So again, we enjoy it. It's called HOAPD. I will say real quick, when you look at the name of the neighborhood that has a really strict homeowners association here in Southwest Louisiana, the name of the subdivision is called Graywood. Well, we didn't want to name it Graywood, so we named it Dickwood, and we spelled it differently so it looks fancy. And you'll notice the logo, and I wish I had one of the logos in here. I had a buddy of mine from Baton Rouge, Louisiana, design the logo for us. and you know how some people, I guess on their iPhone or whatever, they use the emoji of an eggplant whenever they're trying to do, I'll use the word penis when they're trying to show that. Well, we decided to have that as the logo of the neighborhood, with an eggplant with the little flowery stuff around one end of it, and call it Dickwood. And my buddy who made the logo put the logo together, and then he put, I hope your kids aren't watching this. I'm not going to say a bad word, but it's just the implication. He put veins in the eggplant. So it really sends a message. So we had t-shirts made up on it, where you get all my Legally Armed American t-shirts. We have them there too. So anyway, guys, there's going to be some cool stuff coming on that. We have some really good episodes that we're working on right now, and I want you guys to know that it's a lot of fun for me. Some people are tagging me on social media going, is that Paul Glasgow? Because they can't believe that's me on there. Look, man, I have a light side to me too. You know, I like to laugh a little bit also. Anyway, thank you guys for sharing that with me. I appreciate that. Let's talk a little bit more about some of the crazy stuff happening. One thing I've not done a video on yet is the UPS thing. If you guys, as you guys know, the UPS saga has never slowed down, right? We kind of broke this open, and I've called UPS so many times they will not return my phone call. UPS is very anti-gun, and it has a lot to do with their, I'm going to use the phrase social standing, because I'm working on a video that I want everybody to understand that it's not 100% gun related, but it's really a standing in where companies are viewed in environmental type situations and all that. And all of that can affect their standings as far as it's kind of a social gauge as to where they fit. And sometimes banks will decide how and if they're going to give loans in some cases to companies based on what their ranking is. And I'm not going to divulge a whole bunch of that now because I am working on a video. UPS is clearly trying to get a high ranking on this because they know that one of the negatives on this particular type of ranking is guns. So if you're pro-gun or you deal with guns, that's a negative. But if you're anti-gun, that's a super positive. So UPS is really getting nutty as far as delivering guns. And if you'll remember, they threatened to, and they may have destroyed $30,000 worth of merchandise that was being shipped just on a whim, polymer 80s and stuff like that. Ghost Guns. It was a ghost gun company. I think it's called Ghost Guns out of Florida, I believe it was. So I think they got kicked in the teeth a little bit at first, so they shut up about it, but they've more recently come back out again about some other stuff. And let me look real quick. I don't want to misspeak on this. Let's see. And this is a Moland article, by the way. I think John Crump is who wrote this. Yeah, John Crump wrote this. By the way, guys, if you don't know John Crump is a buddy of mine. I get a lot of my inside information from John. He writes for Ammo Lane, and he is trying to build his YouTube channel right now, John Crump News. So if you would go subscribe to him, and if you comment, tell him we sent you over there because he deserves to have a more popular channel than what he has. Let's see. UPS has stepped up its anti-gun campaign. Excuse me. By requiring online sellers to ship an average of 50 handguns daily in order to use its second-day air service. Second-day air service is, in some cases, a quick delivery of handguns. It's not only wanted, but it's required in some cases. You want to get that gun there as quickly as possible. You don't want it just floating around, sitting in warehouses, waiting to ship. You don't want standard shipping on a gun because, again, it sits idle for too long. And when a gun sits idle, obviously it can be mishandled, stolen. So you wanted to get it there quick to keep costs down in terms of firearms. You don't want to ship everything next day. Very pricey, right? That's going to affect me and you. That's going to affect the end user. We're going to pay more for all this stuff because everybody's, going to have to pay for that shipping. If you're buying it on, I hate to even say gun broker. Let's say Brownells, because gun broker, I don't recommend using them right now. Stay away from gun broker right now. So if you're on Brownells and you buy a gun on Brownells, all right, if they have to ship that next day, you're probably going to pay an extra 70 to 150 bucks on that. Well, they're able to keep the cost of that firearm down because on second day air, the price is probably cut in half, literally cut in half of what you'd pay. A lot more palatable. We can kind of digest that, and it doesn't kill us as far as, keeping us away from the price of the gun and not being able to buy it. So in most cases, we'll go ahead and purchase it. What they're doing is they're raising that requirement, saying that, okay, if you want to qualify for a second day air service, in their minds, they're going to make this unattainable now. Because 50 handguns per day. That's not a month. That's not a week. Per day. Nobody does that. Nobody ships 50 handguns a day. No one does. I don't care what anybody says. Nobody does that. Well, I take that back. Let me back up. It's possible that Brownells might, Palmetto State Armory might, because I see how many guns they actually move in a week. I guess that's possible. Let me back off of that. I'm generalizing too much, and I'm being guilty of doing what a lot in the media do. So I apologize for that. Maybe somebody does, but I would be willing to bet there's no more than 4 or 5 companies in the entire United States that have the ability to ship 50 guns or more per day in order to qualify for that second day air discount. What's that mean? That means that, oh, by the way, if you want to ship next day air, you can ship 1 gun instead of 50, and we're okay with that. They're doing that to encourage people, or to discourage the second day air, or to price you out, or to push you out of the second day air and force you into the next day air. Because again, they know you don't want that gun sitting in different warehouses for extended periods of time. So they know you're not going to get standard shipping on that. So your next best option, or your next option, would be next day air. Well, again, that's going to price people out. So people are going to stop buying guns, and that's going to jack the price of everything up. A lot of these online people like Palmetto State and Brownells, they do a really good job. They're good companies. They're legitimate companies. They try to treat their customers right. They try to keep the prices down, and they're not going to be able to maintain those lower prices at that particular rate if they're paying next day air. Now, I like mom and pops also. I buy from pretty much everybody. I feel like being local and shopping local is always a good thing for the local area. So when I can buy something local, that is my first option. It's always my first option. But I think we all can admit that not everything we want is always available local, especially if you live in a little bit smaller community. So it's necessary to have those online people that you can pull from, especially in terms of ammunition. When you have ammo shortages and things like that, your local areas dry up pretty fast. Obviously, people, if you want to look at, I don't shop at big box stores, but I know Academy, there are people that knew what day and what time of day ammo shipments came in and would go stand in line in order to wipe those ammo shipments out before they even had a chance to go onto the shelf. So in so many cases, you were going to have to purchase that ammo during those shortages by those online retailers out there. So I don't know how that's going to affect ammo, but in terms of guns, that's what they're looking at right now with guns. So their goal is to eventually have guns not sold online. Now, the stupid thing is, there's a very large portion of anti-gun people out there that are stupid, willfully ignorant in some cases, because there's plenty of places out there to educate yourself and find out if you're wrong about something, and they simply don't do it. So many people on the anti-gun side are stupid enough to believe that you can get online and search for a gun, buy it, and somebody ships it to your house. That's how stupid a lot of people are. There are still that many stupid people out there. You can't do that. That's not how it works. I think we've all probably purchased guns online. That's not how it works. It's actually more trouble to buy a gun online than it is to go to a gun store and buy it, because you have to do all the pre-work ahead of time. You got to get the FFL from that particular FFL dealer that the gun's going to be shipped to, because it ain't going to your house. I don't care how many people lie to you and tell you that. We all know that's not true. So you got more involved in buying an online gun than you do if you just go down to that mom and pop and buy it directly from them. But nevertheless, people on the, I don't want to say on the left, because some on the left know this, but the anti-gun group, they choose not to educate themselves. So many of them just believe what they're being told, and they are stupid enough and gullible enough to think and assume that you can purchase those guns online. Just get online, double click here, double click there, send me the gun. Here's the cash. I'm going to put it in your Venmo account. Here's my home address. By the way, looking forward to getting my gun in a couple of days. It doesn't work like that. But they're trying to stifle the online transfer of firearms, not because it has any bearing on anything, because do you really think a criminal is buying their gun online? No, they're getting it from my house, your house. They're stealing it out of vehicles that are left unlocked. There are people leaving guns in them. They're buying them out of trunks of cars. That's not where criminals, there's not an online purchase of firearms that's creating an epidemic of people dying from gunshot wounds. That is a non-existent thing. So nothing gets solved by eliminating online firearm purchases. Absolutely nothing does. So here we go again with the anti-gun movement, not accomplishing anything by eliminating the way you purchase a gun, but simply contributing to another way that we can't purchase guns legally. So now the only place we can get them is mom and pops. Well, to a certain degree, I'm okay with that because I do try to buy locally, of course. But there's a lot of these online companies that are doing really good things for the firearms community. They contribute to a lot of the programs. They do a lot of things as far as promotion for gun safety and all that. We don't need them to go away. I don't want anyone not to buy from these online companies. They do a fabulous job of trying to help a bunch of different people out. So anyway, that's the whole thing. That's the burden they're trying to put on everybody right now, is eliminating the online sale of any guns by getting companies like UPS to make it harder for firearms companies out there to do business within the United States. So they're just screwing stuff up. Let me look at my next item. The mass shooting in Memphis. Man, I almost put a video out on this. I'm not going to say the guy's name, but I'm almost getting tired of doing some of the same videos sometimes. Here we go again. We have a person who does not fit the narrative of the mainstream media. Yeah, some people are talking about it. I don't see anybody wanting to close schools down. I don't see anybody wanting to sue firearms manufacturers because we had 4 people killed in Memphis by one person in a day, and it took them all day to find the guy. I don't see anybody doing any of the things the moms demand action. People aren't out there marching on the streets because it doesn't fit their narrative, and they don't want to aggravate and they don't want to upset the people who are going to cast those anti-gun votes. The biggest thing I can say is we all have friends who probably don't make a lot of money. We all have friends who live in either the hood, and I don't care what anybody says about me saying that. I grew up in the hood. I grew up poor. So anybody who thinks that me using the word hood is racist can kiss my ass, because I lived in the freaking hood. So don't come at me with that. If you don't know that white people live in the hood, then you don't know shit about the hood. So we all know people who still live in the hood, who live in trailer parks, who live in low income places. We all know people like that. We have to do, and I'm taking this on myself, we have to do a better job of educating those people, because they're so beholden to those freaking free checks and handouts. They are modern day willful slaves. And I'm talking about every color and culture and walk of life. They are choosing to be enslaved by these a-holes out there that continue to abuse them and hand them a crumb every now and then whenever their stomach growls so they can get a vote out of them. I feel like we have to do a better job of educating them and show them that your slave master is not letting you get anywhere. As soon as you rise up, they're going to push you right back down again. You're useless to them if you're independent. You are absolutely, if you are an independent thinker and an independent person in this world or in this country, you are useless to politicians. They have no need for you. You suddenly become absolutely useless to them. And you're still useless whenever you vote for them, but they know you're useless at that point and they control you. Once you become uncontrollable, you are of no use to a politician. And we have to do a better job of educating our friends and family and make them uncontrollable. Because right now, as long as they stay under the thumb of those people and keep taking those handouts and bash and bully people who are going out there working, we'll never win this fight. You know, guys, think about this. Back in the day when I grew up, now I was born in 68. So I grew up in the 70s and the 80s. It's kind of what I look at my time whenever I grew up. When I was in high school, I graduated in 1986. When I was in high school, if we didn't have a summer job lined out, we picked on and bullied each other. I'm talking about me and my buddies. And most people, you would get shamed for not having a job. Now, you get bullied and picked on if you work. And I'm talking about grown-ass men, not just people in high school. I used to read, back whenever I just got out of high school, I read water meters for the water company here in town. I remember I read in every section of town. That's, you know, I read in the really seedy parts of town. Everybody knew who I was. I was the only white guy who read in the bad parts of town. There were 3 other black guys who read meters and then me, the only white guy. So I knew these people. You know, I walked with these people. I saw their kids grow up. I did that job for 3 or 4 years, I believe. So I saw all these people. They got to where they knew me. And I watched how they operated and functioned. And they did not have the same kind of, back then, you were respected if you had a job. Like, I think people didn't have a problem with that. I didn't see it near as bad back then. Now, you read stories, and I've seen these stories many times, where these kids who do want to better themselves and do want to be better than where their parents were, who want to make a good living, who want to provide for their families as they get older. They work at McDonald's. They have to fold their work shirt up and tuck it into their t-shirt or their pants on their way to work. Because if they're walking down the street of their little community, people bully them and pick on them and call them names because they're going to work. You going to work for the man. No, I'm going to work for me because I don't want to sling dope and do a bunch of stuff and crawl through windows in order to pay bills. I'd like to do it the right way and stay out of jail. And those people get belittled and bullied now. And it's a damn shame that that happens. This society is so flipped upside down right now. So we see all that kind of stuff. And it's just one of those things where I'm looking forward to us engaging with our community a little bit more and trying to get them out of underneath the thumb of all these people out there that are trying to control them. And I don't care what color, culture, creed, or anything. No one needs to be controlled by the federal government. And that's what's problem. I have to address this. Is this a person, Lil Durk? Are you talking to me when you say racist? Because if you are, you're not listening to anything that I'm saying. So hopefully that's sarcasm. Because if it's not, you're stupid. If it is sarcasm, I apologize. But yeah, if that's legit, yeah, well, then you said yes. Well, you're a dummy. You're stupid. You're a stupid person. You're a stupid person because you can't understand the English language. Because if you didn't hear any of the words that I just said, you are an idiot. Read my lips. You are a dumb ass. And thank you for being on my live stream because you are helping boost the algorithm and you are helping more people see this video by being here. In fact, by you commenting the stupid comments that you're commenting, you're actually helping me boost the algorithm even more. So stay and hang around, dummy, because I like having people like you in the room. That actually, if you notice, I don't kick people like you out. Stay around here, dummy. So we're going to leave dummy in the room so he can boost my algorithm for me. Keep commenting, stupid. Keep commenting. You're helping me, dummy. I'm going to leave your comment up there, stupid. So anyway, this is a perfect example. This dummy right here, Lil Durk. Lil Durk is the type of idiot that would pick on somebody. for walking to McDonald's and for having a job, because Lil Durk wants to cash that government check and not work. So he's the kind of person that's just going to sit over here because deep down inside, he's ashamed that he's a freeloading piece of crap. So he wants to pick on other people that are going earn theirs. And that's the problem that we have in societies right now. We got these clowns out there like this that don't respect anybody else because deep down inside, they're ashamed of being a piece of crap. They're ashamed of being lazy. They're ashamed of being able-bodied and don't want to work. So that's part of the problem. And we all know people like that. We all know people in our communities. We all know people in our families who qualify as those type of people. And I think it's incumbent on all of us to actually reach out to them and try in a polite and nice way, not like this dumbass here is, but in a polite and nice way to actually talk to them and say, do you realize that you are being enslaved by the federal government as far as making you do things? That's why I have such a problem with how the ATF tries to squash down on people all the time, because all they do is push their control onto all of the people out there that are law-abiding gun owners. And to me, that's a huge fallacy, because the Second Amendment is all about freedom. It's about freedom of what you're wanting to do. The Second Amendment is just as much about freedom as the First Amendment on freedom of speech. So the fact that we have the opportunity to exercise that right is a huge thing. And as soon as you start giving up your own control and giving it to somebody else, you don't think they're going to take that? In fact, I just uploaded a video on smart thermostats and smart meters and smart guns about opting to give up your control over your own thermostats in your house, and how that can be, what it is. It's a Denver company. People opted in to get these smart thermostats. And what that essentially is, they offer you bribe money to enter into their little program so that whenever temperatures get a certain degree, whichever, they lock your thermostat to where you can't turn it down anymore to make your home cooler. So you can't override it. There's no way to override it. You opted into the program. That's how the program works. The problem with that is, as hot as it is in the summer, you have no control over that. There's no magic wire hooked up to that thermostat. It's all done through Wi-Fi, Bluetooth, all the connections like that. Smart gun technology operates, and again, I'm kind of giving a lot of my video away. You can go watch the video when you get off of here. Smart gun technology works on either a biometric sensor on the thumb, somewhere of a print on the gun that reads your prints on your hand, or in some cases, it'll have a bracelet that has a biometric reader in there that communicates to the gun, tells you it's reaching for it or who's reaching for it. And once it gets into a certain proximity, it will allow the gun to fire. And other ones can actually be controlled via an app. Now, you tell me that. Do you want the means that you actually protect your family with, firearm, to be controllable by an app? I don't, because everything electronic that has any kind of potential to communicate, whether it's through Bluetooth or Wi-Fi, also has the potential to be hacked. Everything does. There's nothing that's unhackable. So that's what happens. So what if we have, and again, I mentioned this in the video that I just uploaded, what if there is a, quote, active shooter in, I don't know, downtown Detroit, an active shooter? It would make perfect sense for somebody to have a kill switch to kill every single smart gun out there for a certain period of time until they catch their active shooter. Because what they're thinking would be is that I've just eliminated every other potential gun from being able to fire or be able to use in any kind of a crime. The fallacy is not one criminal purchases those. So people like Lil Durk is going to be the one running around with an operational gun, and we're all going to have smart guns that would be deactivated if they were to mandate that, and something that we would have to do. So that's how this works. And that's what would happen in a case like that. You'd have the idiots like Lil Durk running around shooting people, and we're over here going, why doesn't my gun work? And it's because the man shut it down. So unfortunately, that's how a lot of this stuff works. So I feel like we, as proper communicators, not like this idiot here, but proper communicators out there that are respected in the community, again, not like this dummy, we have to put ourselves in a role where we remain respected in the community. And by doing that, I feel like we build up our own credibility. And whenever we do talk to these people that need to be spoken to, especially young people, they're the ones who need guidance more than anything. All these fatherless homes out there, a lot of these young men actually need somebody like us to talk to. So by pulling those guys aside and giving them some helpful advice, maybe even helping give them a job, maybe a job around the house or something like that. To me, that's a good way to start cultivating these young men, to let them grow into quality young men and not freeloading pieces of crap like little dirt, because we need more people in the workforce, not on the couch. And that's a way that we, in my opinion, can start to do that. And by doing that, where people have something that they've worked for, not like this dummy. If you have something you've worked for, you want to protect that, right? You are more likely to want to protect that. What does that mean? It translates into support for the Second Amendment. Because now that you have something to protect, which is stuff that you earned, you actually worked for the money, you didn't steal it, stuff that you earned and worked for, and a family that lives under your roof, those are things you are more willing to protect. Now you start thinking about, how do I protect that? Now you start thinking about how you want to protect your right to protect that, which means you turn into an advocate for the Second Amendment. You see how that works? So it does start everywhere. It's not just a matter of us promoting the Second Amendment. If you promote a decent home life, a decent neighborhood, a quality neighborhood where quality people actually live in it and not freeloading pieces of crap, to me, you are getting these people who will eventually seek out their own Second Amendment fight, because they don't need you to tell them that's important. They know that. Again, it's a big difference. What's the best thing I can show in here? A beer. Let me just use this for an example. If somebody gave me this and it gets knocked over, I'm not really upset about it. I guess a good beer drinker would be upset about it. But the fact that I work for this beer, I might protect it a little bit more than if there was 100 beers over there that were all free. If I spill one, who cares? I'm going to go grab another free one. But if I only have 12 of these and I work for every single one of them, I'm more likely to drink every drop of it and to not spill it haphazardly, because I don't have a bunch of free ones to go grab over there. And I feel like when people get to that point and they earn stuff, they want to protect it a whole lot more, because there ain't another free one right behind it. And again, those people seek out the Second Amendment and their ability to protect that Second Amendment because they see the value in it for themselves and their families. And to me, that's super important. Guys, thanks for hanging out with me tonight. As you can see, I'm pretty much a fair person, especially Second Amendment related. I'll let dipshits come in here and make fools out of themselves all day long. Chaos Control, thank you, buddy. I appreciate that. Smash Time, don't think I'm ignoring you over there. I appreciate you as well. Those of you that kicked in to support the channel, that always means a lot to me when you guys do that. You don't have to do that. I don't expect you to do that, but when you do that, it means a lot to me, and I do appreciate that. So as always, it means a lot to me. If you guys are having a cold beer tonight or cold drink, or it doesn't matter what, but if you are having any kind of an alcoholic beverage, I hope you guys will take the time to at least get a significant other person to bring you somewhere, to drive you somewhere, or whichever. I think that it's important that we all are here for ourselves and our families and our, Second Amendment folks out there, to make sure that we're back here every single time. I never want to see you guys not here. I don't want to see anybody get in trouble, get hurt, or anything like that. So if you got somewhere to go tonight and you're drinking a beer or two, please get somebody to drive you. Hopefully you guys, if you're just hanging out at the house, go crazy, go wild, do your thing. I'm actually going to drink probably one more beer, go in there and bathe my son and put him to bed. So I got a short night tonight, but I just always want to encourage you guys to make sure that whenever you are having a good time or whatever, be careful. Don't do anything silly. Don't do anything stupid, and always watch your back, because there's people like this clown out there, or I guess I should point like this clown out there, or maybe it is right there. Maybe it is right there. Like this clown out there, who are always seeking to get something that doesn't belong to them, that belongs to you, and they want it to belong to them. So it's important that we have to watch out for that and watch our backs, keep your head on a swivel, watch out for your brothers, your sisters, and everybody else out there, because there is that element out there that is always going to look to take something because they don't have it and they don't work for anything. So they don't have any problem stealing things and taking stuff that doesn't belong to them. So please be careful, head on a swivel, have a good weekend, enjoy yourselves. I'll probably jump back on here maybe a time or two this weekend to do some live streams. I will probably do maybe Sunday. I'll do a pin of shame video. I enjoy the heck out of the pin of shame videos. Those are always fun. So I may do one of those Sunday afternoon maybe, and look forward to that. If I do, I'll put something out ahead of time so you guys know that I'm going to do that. And hopefully Lil Durk will show back up again, because his boosting of my algorithm is huge, and I appreciate that. I don't think idiots like him actually understand how the internet works, and that whenever they come on here, number one, they're counted as a viewer. Whenever they comment, they just simply start jacking my algorithm up. So idiots like that, they want to be banned, but I don't ban them. I like them here because they're helping me. They're too stupid to realize that. So guys, have a great evening. And I hope this dumbass over here has a good evening as well, because I'm not that evil of a person like that. So everybody have a great, safe weekend, including that idiot.